Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And it's Coffee Ann on WOON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. It's Wednesday, April the 2nd. Thanks for being there. And I'm Joe Callahan. Around the coffee table, we'll say hello to Melissa Smith.
We're starting with me.
From the
Good morning.
Hi, Melissa. And Tim Draper from Navigate Credit Union. Hi, Tim.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, we can't hear. Yeah. Say it again, Tim.
I said good morning, everybody.
Very good. And John Ward is here as well.
Good morning.
Hi.
Dave's not here. The whole place goes down.
That's the way it goes.
It just falls apart.
All right. Thanks for joining us this morning. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240. Give that a little time because Melissa Murray's not here yet, and she's going to write things down for us.
That's right.
I was like, how long have I been here?
Marty Smith.
I know. I get it mixed up a lot.
Call me
Anyway,
Martha next.
Melissa,
You guys used to do.
it's time for your first message from St. Antoine Community
Joe
Schools.
is being very serious today,
You are,
and we
yeah.
are well.
Out of control already.
John is too. I think Tim and I are starting out a little punchy, and I apologize in advance for whatever happens in the show today.
Why so serious?
So I'm Melissa Smith, and I'm from St. Antoine Community. And for those of you that don't know a lot about us, we are a large long-term care campus located in North Smithfield, but we're right on the line of Woonsocket and Blackstone. On our property, we offer an expansive continuum of services from assisted living to short and long-term skill care. We have a state-of-the-art rehab facility as well as 2 levels of memory care on our property. If you are interested in learning more about the services that we offer or even how to get on one of our several waiting lists, you can reach me at 401-767-3500. I'd be happy to walk you through the process. Thank you.
All right, Melissa, thanks. So we're going to start off, and we're congratulating Jean Michon.
Yes.
Oh,
She won. Do you know what the award was, John? And I'm trying to find it because I want to find the exact words, and it's something that Channel 12 gave her.
Yeah, go to Facebook channel WPRI site, and it's
Well, look that up for me, will you?
remarkable.
Get on
women,
that.
Remarkable women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they do that.
And now she's in the running nationwide
Really?
to win something like that. So
Yeah, she's going out to Los Angeles
Yeah.
as part of the thing.
That's great. So congratulations, Jean. And we're actually going to have Jean Michon. It was kind of late last minute. Couldn't make it today.
Yeah.
She's going to be on tomorrow.
Oh,
And
good.
We'll talk to her about that tomorrow. But I just wanted to get it out there. Congratulations to Jean on winning this award, and John's looking up to see exactly what it was. Now, moving along.
It is.
What is it called, John?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. The Remarkable Women Contest.
Okay.
She's the 2025 winner for Rhode Island there. It's actually run by the parent corporation Nexstar. That's national.
That's Channel 12.
That's
okay.
Channel 12, and they're going to have one from every state, and she's the representative from Rhode Island.
That's
They're
fantastic.
going to ship her out to Los Angeles for an event out there.
Her and her husband,
she
I
gets,
suppose.
She gets probably, and she gets $1,000 towards
Just
her,
for that. Okay.
just for that
Wow.
towards the charity.
Well, great for her. And,
Congratulations.
so we'll talk to more with Jean about that tomorrow when she joins us on the Coffee and program. All right, Val Kilmer passed away.
I know. I heard that
I
this morning.
How about that?
I didn't realize he
he's
was
been
that
ill
sick.
for some time.
Cancer,
I
right? A
didn't,
lot
I
of
didn't
cancer.
know that as well.
But I didn't think he was that-
65.
He had throat
Oh, he's
cancer,
only
didn't
65?
he? He had he had a trach. He had a
Yeah.
Was it the last Mission Impossible movie he was in?
No,
whole Top Gun.
Top Gun Maverick.
He was
That's what it was,
surprised
Top Gun.
Iceman. He was an
was-
admiral.
That's
and-
right, Top Gun.
According to his daughter, though, he had the cause of death was pneumonia.
Pneumonia, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
He was in the movie, if you want to laugh, it's like Airplane. The movie's called Top Secret. I think
Yes.
it's his first movie. Very funny.
Really? Is it?
Very
Top Secret?
It's got to do. It's like a. It's a parody of spy movies and World War II movies, but it's so ridiculously silly, and jokes like his name is Nick.
Yeah.
In the movie, and they said, why'd your parents name you Nick? He goes, I don't know. My father thought about it one day while I was shaving. Stupid jokes like that. So, but if you like those kind of stupid
Dad
jokes,
humor.
there you go. He started in the 1980s with Top Secret, and he also appeared in films as Top Gun and Willow before his breakout appearance. Oh, I forgot about this. He was Jim Morrison in The Doors
Yes.
in 1991.
Batman. He
was.
was in Tombstone as
Yeah,
what,
his
Wyatt Earp?
portrayal led to the lead roles in the 90s in Tombstone and Heat. I don't know Heat.
I don't remember Heat.
Before taking the role of Batman in Batman Forever. He'd been battling throat cancer for several years, and his final role was in 2022 Top Gun Maverick when he was Iceman. So,
I'm going to share that in a group chat this morning between my brother-in-law and my husband, that I'm included in and my sister-in-law's included in, but I could care less. They ranked his top movies, and according to them, which I would not hold this accountable, they felt like Ghost in the Darkness was his top movie.
Ghost
But I'm gonna
in the
add- I'm gonna-
Darkness. We should have heard of that first
terrible
before we
movie
can
that I
rate it.
sat through in our early dating years, but yeah, that was, and Tombstone, that was their other favorite with him in it.
Tombstone was
But
fun.
I know you mentioned Heat. That was actually Los Angeles cop movie, wasn't it? With De
I
Niro
think so.
and-
Yeah, De Niro.
He was a
De Niro
bad
and
guy in that, wasn't
Pacino.
he?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah. He
Yeah,
was-
and The Saint. I never saw The Saint,
Oh,
but
that's
he
right. He
listed
was in
The Saint too.
Okay.
So
Well, now that's what's going on there with Val Kilmer. Okay, and other things going on. Oh, did in the movie Top Gun Maverick?
yeah.
Does Val Kilmer take his shirt off? I mean, that's the most important question.
In the first one, in the original, or in the
well, let's go with
one
the,
that came
with
out
the
to-
original.
Yes.
When they play,
yes,
does
he
he
does.
play volleyball?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he does.
Okay, what about in the second one?
No.
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 If she says he does, he
Bag
did.
of avocados.
With confidence.
Speaking of movies, I need to make a strong recommendation to anybody considering going to see Snow White. If you're seriously thinking of it,
Okay.
there's a great article by Mark Patinkin in today's Providence Journal because he had never seen the original Snow White. So
How do you miss that?
he took his
Well, it's
took his kid,
1930 something.
took his kid and went to see the new Snow
Okay,
White first.
and what do you think?
And then went home and
Watched the original?
watched the animated one.
Okay.
And he thinks it was awful.
Which
The
one?
new one?
The new one.
Oh, okay. That's what a
Well,
lot
what
of
did
people
you think?
Did you go see it, John?
Well, he wrote the article because there was a Rhode Island actor
In it?
in the movie.
Okay.
He's Jonathan, would have been the prince in the original story. He's a Rhode Island.
I didn't know the prince had a name in Snow White.
Well, he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
does now.
All right, then
He gave
now
him
it
up.
does.
But because there's no prince, and he has nothing to do with the overthrow of the queen, and he has nothing to do with kissing her and waking her up to romance.
Oh, so they've rewritten the
she's
entire
sort of
thing?
on her own, saving the world.
Oh, good for her.
And his name is Jonathan, and he's a peasant. He's not a prince.
Wow.
Do you know why Snow White the original
Looking
was
for
so
your rating on
groundbreaking?
this.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I thought you said you
no,
went.
no.
Oh.
Mark Patinkin went.
Oh, no, I know.
Did this
I thought
little
you opened
article
in the
about
beginning
it.
saying you went. So.
Everything I've heard or seen about it
Has been
is
lousy.
it's awful.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
Bummer, because I was excited for that to come out, but I've heard the same thing. So, yeah.
So,
Yes, Jim.
what was so groundbreaking about the original was that it was the first multi-plane camera they invented, so they could have 3D sort of appearances in animation.
Oh.
And Walt Disney and his Imagineers created a camera that had 7 or 9 different plates, and the camera would come down and the plates would move closer together, and it would make the whole image look like it was moving. It
It's
was-
like you were going through the woods.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Because
it was wild, and that
they
was
would-
the first multi-plane camera.
Very
And-
cool.
Yep. Walt
And of course, it
Disney.
was full color.
And it was full color.
Didn't it win Best Picture?
Yeah,
Academy Award?
it was an Academy
the
Award.
original one.
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty, we're
Might have been for technical.
and then
things.
I heard
And it wasn't political.
Snow White did okay in the box office last week, not great, but this weekend Minecraft comes out and they say it's just going to blow it out of the water.
Yeah.
So Minecraft's just going to take over. Yeah, Minecraft's just going to
Man,
kill it.
Jack Black and
yeah.
and what's his Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
and,
and that's it. That's it.
Actually, for those people who have never seen the first movie, The Accountant with
Ben Affleck.
you should watch it because they're in the end of this month,
The second one
25th,
comes out, right?
is Accountant 2.
Oh, all right.
John likes it because it's the accountant.
No,
He identifies with
deal
Ben
with
it's
Affleck.
actually the interesting backstory to it is it's about a kid who grows up, he's autistic, and he becomes this assassin accountant. The accountant is just the front for his work as an assassin.
Is that what yours was in Lincoln?
Yes. Yes.
Let's get to the bottom
Let's
of
build
it.
a whole narrative on
think we got a
John's
story
double
going
life.
here.
I don't know if this is going to affect anybody, but Hooters has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Oh, say it ain't so, Joe.
It's so. Well, the one in Rhode Island closed
Closed, yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Years ago, yeah, many
And
years
the
ago.
last I knew, there was still one in Boston. And I've been to Hooters once. One in Boston. Worst chicken I've ever had. And that's what they're.
I'm
That's
not
what they,
sure people
that's
were
what
going
they-
for the chicken.
But that's what they built their name on. Come in for our wings because they're
say
so
it.
good.
I just can't
Oh,
say it.
the wings are so good, and they had the coldest beer in town.
right.
Now that part was
There's
true.
the problem.
They did have the coldest beer.
There's the problem.
The beer?
No, you went to get chicken and you bought wings instead of breasts or legs.
Well, you couldn't. You could only get wings.
Wow.
So, anyway.
I held my tongue.
With wardrobe choices today, Amos spit the words out. You don't need to go to a restaurant like Hooters to see what they were offering.
Yeah, just go to the beach.
Go to any local high school, and you will
Oh, well,
see
okay. Yeah.
the same.
Us middle-aged guys want to go to the local high school.
That'll end well for us.
Great idea.
Actually, it cracks me up because Mary Lou's Coffee is one of my favorite coffees. Like South Shore is where it started. My brother lived up there for many years. Still lives up there. Why did I say Pat used to? Whatever. Anyways, and it's now down through the Rhode Island area. Their commercials make me cringe because their whole platform has always been girls at the counter serving
Cringe-worthy,
coffee.
yep.
And I thought by now it would be a little
Is that the one?
evolved.
Is that the
But
one?
no, the
No.
same commercials are running.
Is that the one on Route 1 on the way to the beach?
There might be one down there. There's one in Smithfield. There's one in Cumberland on Diamond
Oh,
Hill. It's great coffee. The pink and black logo.
Yeah.
Love it. Really do love it there. The commercials. Can we just
Cringeworthy.
drop the
Well, it's because they don't have any money to
Female-
produce, and they just
body image thing?
Okay.
I just, so.
Well,
somebody's boyfriend said. We're gonna make these.
along with Hooters, they're just following in the footsteps of Red Lobster, TGI Fridays, and another chain restaurant called On the Border. These chains are they're filing for bankruptcy.
Why am I?
protection.
So my husband and I laugh all the time. We haven't had a Red Lobster in years. I
Yeah.
think the closest one was Warwick.
There is one in
area.
Warwick, yeah.
No, not
Unless- unless
was.
they-
Like
Go on.
closed like 20 years ago. We still get commercials for them. I don't understand.
There are other places.
I think,
yeah.
where did I see one?
A
Oh,
Red
the first
Lobster?
time- yeah, the last time we was in Milford or somewhere north of here, not south.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
up
see
in
what the
the-
closest one is, but we're talking at least 20 years we've had commercials. We've laughed almost our entire marriage at the fact that
There are
that
no Red Lobsters,
opened
but
and
we have-
closed in Warwick years ago.
I don't know. I find big chain restaurants not appealing anymore.
Oh,
I
no,
love
absolutely.
the tiny little ones. We found one in North Attleboro, Cucina 38. We'll plug out.
I have a few people who told me to go there.
10 tables in the whole place. It's a
Yeah.
family that runs it, and the food is out of this world and not off the charts expensive. Like,
Yeah. We
this-
just
these
ate
are
at
the
a little
places.
place in Lincoln called Oz Tacos and Tequila
I've heard
or something
that.
like that. And
Yeah.
went to Harry's Burger Bar spot on Front Street.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Lincoln.
Took the girls there on the whim last weekend, and it was so good and
Really?
so cute. And I'm like, geez. And we're the same way. We don't do a lot of chains. We try to
Yeah.
find these little hole in the walls, jump on Yelp, see what we can find.
Yeah.
It was really neat. Small little shop, good food, good
Yep.
prices. I was like,
Yeah.
this is great.
All right.
We'll keep
well,
spreading the love to the
Right.
little
Little
local
businesses,
spots.
little guys.
By the way, the closest Red Lobster is Weathersfield, Connecticut.
Where's
I don't
that
know how-
near? Where's that near? Hartford, New Haven.
Hold on, let me
Weathersfield
open
is
up the
near-
map.
The map, on the map,
John's
on the
thinking-
map, on the map.
Just
Sounds
east
like-
of Hartford, maybe?
It is telling me
Was that a Dora the Explorer?
It
It's-
was.
That's
it's south of Hartford.
South of Hartford.
So you're talking.
It's an hour and a half.
You gotta
You gotta
really
really
want.
A lot of Red
What's
Lobster.
their shrimp special? That bottomless shrimp or whatever. You gotta really want that to.
All right, we're going to take a break. First break here in the Coffee and program, but more coming your way. So, Melissa, time for a second message from the St. Antoine communities.
Yeah, so last week you heard, actually, Tim and I both talk about 401 Gives, and it actually, we are in the middle of it. It used to be once upon a time a one-day, 24-hour event, and it grew into 2 days. Today being the second day of it, ends around 6 o'clock tonight, and St. Antoine community is participating, and we would love your support to jump on 401 Gives and make a donation. This year, all proceeds that are collected are going to be allocated towards new outdoor patio furniture for our long-term skilled memory care unit. That was the one outdoor space that we have not yet renovated, so all the dollars that we raise will be allocated to whipping up that space. Obviously, spring, sun is out. We're hoping to invite our residents outside and let them enjoy some new patio space. So, again, join the movement in the state right now to support all nonprofits, but we hope that you choose St. Antoine Community to make a donation. Thank you so much for your support.
All right, Melissa, thanks. More of the Coffee and program is coming up. You can call in your comments and questions at 766-1240.
Are you thinking about a new audio system for your car or truck? Customers are thrilled with Inferno Audio in Woonsocket.
Thanks to Inferno Audio for hooking up my truck. Amazing work was done, and I couldn't be any more satisfied with their craftsmanship. It's a whole different truck. The sound is amazing. If you need anything custom for your car or truck, go to Inferno Audio. Keith and his team are the best in the business.
How about a new remote car starter? Keith and his team at Inferno Audio can do that too, like he did for this young lady.
Awesome, fast service. They did my car and my boyfriend's car in great time. I'm loving my remote starter.
For alarm and security systems, backup cameras, custom audio installations, and more for your car or truck, go to Inferno Audio, 160 Clinton Street in Woonsocket. Look them up online, infernoaudio.com, and remember to like them on Facebook. It's Inferno Audio.
The world-class distributor of all things electrical is Electrical Wholesalers. They are a full-service electrical distributor with branches throughout Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Locally, they're at 113 Clinton Street next to KFC here in Woonsocket, with other locations in Cranston and Franklin, Massachusetts. Electrical Wholesalers provides the highest quality service to electrical contractors as well as residential, commercial, and industrial customers. Electrical Wholesalers is open Monday through Friday, 7 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. Visit ew-ne.com. Electrical Wholesalers.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira Joyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation. Hi, it's me, your USPS Ground Advantage shipment. Just left the warehouse and hitting the road.
I know. Just got the notification.
Great. Smooth sailing so far. I'm almost there.
Yes, I know. I get all the updates.
Made it. Safe and sound.
I know.
Well, did you know I was with USPS the whole time?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Keep your business in the know with the USPS Ground Advantage service. Visit usps.com/in-the-know.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
WOON Radio.
It's Coffee and. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Joe Callahan with John Ward and Tim Draper and Melissa Smith. And, you know, some stories just make your skin crawl. And
no, Joe, you've never brought those to the
And here's
table.
another one. And unfortunately, it takes place here in Rhode Island. And it's down in North Kingstown. It's the former basketball coach doing the fat test
That
on
was
the
gonna
boys.
be a fun story.
No, it's not a fun story.
No, bug. I thought you were going to make it a bug story.
No, not that kind of skin crawl.
The only story I hear that makes Karen Reed seem interesting
Is this one? Is this guy Aaron Thomas? He's pleaded not guilty to second-degree sexual assault and second-degree child molestation charges stemming from the fat test performed on student athletes over several years, asking the boys to come in so he could check out their bodies.
Yeah.
In his office. I'm like, wow. It's just, at least that's what he's accused of. So jury selection has been completed or will be completed by the end of the week. Opening statement should begin on Monday. Outside the courthouse, attorneys for Thomas said he may take the stand to testify in his own defense. Oh, I'd like to hear what he has to say.
Be interesting.
How old is he? I remember this story. We first talked about it.
50s now, right?
I don't have an age on him right in the story right here, so I don't know.
Okay.
So, no. And the other, and jury selection started yesterday in the Karen Reed case. They seated two.
Yeah.
Out of 90? I think I heard 90.
Who are you going to find in that community that would
they
be
said,
unbiased?
out of 90 people, 78 of them already said, I formed an opinion.
Yep.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
Well, how can you not form an opinion?
For all the
With all
popularity of the
publicity?
story the first go around.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen?
Well, they also made a
Move the
mistake, in my
vet-
opinion. They didn't do the jury selection before the documentary came out. I feel like there's that little, you know what I mean? They should have nailed this in.
The only way you could get an impartial jury is to go to Kansas.
Yeah.
Well, really, yeah. You really, or just outside New England. I mean, but yeah, you're right, John. And I don't know why they didn't at least move it out of Dedham.
Or Slovenia.
Somewhere, but
So can they still do that if they can't in a certain period of time? I'm sure there's an expiration date or a timeline on how long it's going to take them to find the.
No, it's this judge who's ruling with an iron fist because she is part of the problem. She was part of the first trial.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why is she the judge in the second trial? I really don't understand that.
Yeah.
How did she get in? How did she finagle?
Because
her
there
way
are
into
powers
that?
at play, Joe, that are
Yeah.
beyond what we all know.
So
It's a conspiracy.
And I heard on the news yesterday. This will take weeks to get a jury.
Right.
Not a
and
couple of days.
even when they do, I can see the defense. If the defense loses the first appeal, it's going to be you had a biased jury. There's no way you could have had a jury that was not biased in this town.
Did you
in
see
this community.
the sheet they had to fill out first? I think it was 20 questions, maybe a little more. How do you feel about the police?
Can you read? Do you know anybody named Karen?
Do you like the name
Every
Karen?
soccer mom.
Wasn't quite that easy, John. One of those are the police always right? That kind of thing. Can they make mistakes? So there were questions like that they all had to fill out. But wow. And they had the protest. People were out there yesterday.
But they can't be near the courts.
No, there's a huge
big buffer.
Now. But now I hear someone's suing because the buffer they say is not correct. Talk amongst yourselves for just a minute.
Isn't that an impediment to freedom of speech?
Want me to read the weather report?
Isn't that an impediment to freedom of
Today's
speech?
forecast is
Protesting?
at the moment
In front
sunny.
or
Temperatures
demonstrating?
averaging around
okay.
50. Are you good?
Yes.
You can
You said to
protest
take
in
a
the public
second.
square and public property,
Right.
unless it presents a danger to
Okay, here
other
it is.
people.
Good. All right, he's ready.
And is necessary for security.
All right.
So,
The judge in the retrial of Karen Reed is being sued by several people over the buffer zone she has established around the Dedham courthouse. The lawsuit alleges that the 200-foot buffer zone around the courthouse violates the First and 14th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution. The suit against Judge Beverly Cannoni is filed by 4 plaintiffs and the American Civil Liberties Union. The suit seeks to block the order and allow protesters to make their voices heard right at the courthouse.
well, I don't agree. 200 feet is not that far. It's probably just across the street, depending on the street you're on, and the judge has the right to be able to maintain decorum in the courtroom, and if the noise from outside would overwhelm what's going on in the courtroom,
What overwhelms the jury when they go to deliberations?
or overwhelms the jury, or whoever,
Yeah.
if it overwhelms the operation of the court and the trial, then she has the right to move them far enough away so that it doesn't interfere.
All right.
And I guess if I were arguing against or in favor of her rights, I would say that if you can't do that, then you can't put a 50-foot barrier on election day under free speech rules for candidates with their signs.
Yeah.
Speaking of signs, we know it's spring because the crocuses come up and the lilies and the tulips. And you know what else is a good sign of spring in this area?
The orange cones?
Political signs in Blackstone, because
That's their election.
they spring up all of a sudden
it's
at the end of March
election.
because they
It's
have their
election
elections
day.
in April. It's next week.
Anybody else hold their breath and he's about to say something?
Yeah, well, I'm like,
Yeah,
where's
we're
he going with this? This is going to be
Did
good.
you really think I was going to say something
I don't
profound?
know. I don't know.
Oh,
No,
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 profound.
not profound. No.
Ruin the reputation of the Wednesday morning show, huh?
Well, reputation, huh? All right. Well, remember that the Providence Democrat, the state representative
Enrique Sanchez?
Enrique, that was pulled over and charged with
We just dropped the charges.
DUI.
The one that was let off?
He was. It was dismissed. Yeah.
Surprised me.
So I guess he's glad he didn't quit because there was call for him he should resign, but he said no. But he did plead guilty to the civil charge of refusing to submit to a chemical test. I didn't know you could be charged if you don't submit to it. The dismissal was filed Monday in Superior Court, stated that in addition to the plea in traffic court, the state was unable to meet its burden at trial due to factual and legal issues. Wasn't he sitting at the red light for like 15 minutes?
And
then
they had
never moved?
police body cam.
Yeah, and they smelled alcohol.
Yeah. None of that stuff was
And
good
when they
enough.
asked for his
But
ID,
it got thrown out.
when they asked for his ID, he handed him a credit card.
Yeah. So we just dismissed the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, all right. Oh, okay. So, all
But
right.
if it was any of us.
So we gotta.
I guess
move on.
in this case, they knew who he was.
I guess so. did he say that?
No,
the police
he didn't.
Pulled him. Oh, okay, good. All right. And so they had a little ruckus at Rhode Island College.
Ooh.
A man who's not a student and not a worker at Rhode Island College was on a RIPTA bus, gets off Rhode Island College. I don't know how well you know the campus of Rhode Island College, but the first building you come to is Roberts Hall. He goes into Roberts Hall and sees a cleaning lady in there who was in there, cleaning one of the bathrooms. He gives her a bear hug, against her wishes, to say the least.
So that was the assault. I thought
that's the assault.
I thought he hit her or something.
No,
Okay.
he like, but I think grabbed
Like,
her in a
and
bear
squeezed
hug.
her.
He squeezed. I think maybe even picked her up, which made her scream, obviously. And along came another cleaning woman to help her out to see what was going on. But they
haven't given a reason why, right? I mean,
he said he just wanted a hug. I actually read that.
So they actually use the word bear hug in the report.
Yes, I saw that on Channel 12's website.
Doesn't that give you the impression
that's from the
that
police report?
like
that they got
someone
from.
witnessed it and it really was a gentle hug, not grabbing and assaulting? Doesn't the choice of words seems odd to put in an actual report?
well, bear hug to me seems like an aggressive hug,
Yes.
like a squeezing as hard as you can hug, not a teddy bear hug. That's different.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. This is a weird
So you
a
don't-
play on words. I just feel like if there's an account or report, I would.
It sounds to me like a little
referenced
mental
bear
illness
hug.
going on here.
Yeah.
So you never watched professional wrestling?
Oh no, I have.
Oh, okay.
Against my will. Against my will.
But they've actually said he's in a bear hug, and that usually means they grabbed them hard.
Okay.
And lifted them up and are squeezing. It's not
Yeah.
a gentle, hey, nice to see you.
So
Right.
there was
Kinda hug.
there's no relationship between the victim and the
No, they don't know each other.
They don't, and he just walked in and just randomly picked this person and said, "You look like I need." a hug."
When he walked into the bathroom, which she was cleaning, and this happened early in the morning, like before classes even started, somewhere between 8 and 9. And she's cleaning the bathroom in there, and he's walking in, and as most people today, he's got his earbuds in, and he couldn't hear that she was talking to him, that she was in there cleaning, and I don't know how she got his attention, and that's what he, got in the bear hug.
That's just weird.
So now he was arrested. They called campus police. They called Providence police. They all came rushing down. And she went to the hospital for treatment, although she's okay. And they don't say what her injuries may have been. I think she was really shook up that this took place. Now, he's charged with simple assault, and he is banned from being on campus. There's no reason for you to be here, so don't come onto the Brick campus.
I hate that these kinds of stories are shared because I think now you're inspiring someone. Oh, wait, I can just jump on a public bus and ride. We know that you can do that,
Rick,
but now
CCRI,
you're advertising this, and now people are like, hey, I can go into a college campus and.
Why do I suspect? Does he have no known address?
It doesn't say.
Just wondering.
And how are we not at the point with a college campus? Maybe this is what's going to happen next because now some alarms have been sounded. But a bus goes onto a campus. Even Bryant has public buses, right?
Yep.
That everyone entering that campus is stopped, has to show ID before they get off the bus. Like, how is there not some stop-gate security measure there?
I don't think that you don't have to show ID to get off the bus, do you?
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like this is going to be maybe the next step now because a private college.
But I'm not going to Rhode Island College, but the route takes me into Rhode Island College.
Right?
Why do
But
I have to show my ID if I'm staying on the bus?
If I'm getting off the bus. That's what I'm saying.
Getting off the bus, show your ID?
Bus.
It's a public school. They hold conferences and meetings there all the time from around the state.
I don't know.
Bryant may be able to do something like that.
Well, somebody would have to be.
It's just me feeling like this is going to spark a conversation amongst these schools, and parents who are paying tuition of students to live on that campus are going to start to say,
over regulation.
You just had the situation at CCRI with the guy with the gun, right?
Yeah.
Got off ripped the bus, walked into the building.
Got out his airsoft gun.
Yeah. And then everybody went into lockdown. So I guess it would be a challenge, I think, to do that.
I'm not saying it would be easy to do, and I'm not saying I would support it. I'm just saying I feel like that's going to be, a situation like this happens, you're going to have to do some kind of steps regarding security and safeguards.
But you could do it, and I've done it. I've just driven onto the Rick campus.
True.
No one stops you. Get out, walk around. Just had been a while since I've been on campus. I did this a couple of years ago. It's a public
But in a
school.
lot of ways,
Take
you
a look
have
around.
to.
No one stops you.
Sometimes you have to stop at the gate. Sometimes they just wave, and everybody knows you just wave back.
There is
at
no
them.
gate at Rick.
And there is none there. You're right. Thinking of Bryant.
On both entrances.
But sometimes you need a parking pass in your window. I mean, so there. I'm not going down the rabbit hole of this. I'm just saying it feels like this story might prompt some conversations.
Like you got just the right mindset to be a member of the General Assembly.
I'm going to take that as a compliment, John.
All right, we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program. More is coming your way. Time for the weather forecast being brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Today we will have increasing clouds with a high temperature near 46 with a north wind around 6 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy skies with a chance of rain, low temperature around 36, southeast wind 6 to 8 miles per hour. Thursday's weather, rain likely, mainly before noon. It'll be cloudy all day with a high temperature near 63. Southwest wind 11 to 16 miles per hour. Wind gusts as high as 32 miles per hour. Thursday night, cloudy skies, low temperature around 52 with a southwest wind 6 to 10 miles per hour. Wind gust as high as 21 miles per hour. Friday, mostly cloudy, high near 65. Saturday, mostly cloudy, showers likely, mainly after 3 p.m., and a high near 48. Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with the sunny skies, we have 35 degrees. Go, Tim.
Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
Voted gold in ON Radio's Best of the Blackstone Valley in 3 different categories. Best Furniture Store, Best Outdoor Furniture, and Best Mattress Store is Coletta's Furniture. They have a lot of new collections that have just hit the showroom floor. Come and see Coletta's Furniture 2-floor, 25,000 square foot showroom packed with great deals and brand name merchandise. Recliners, couches, dinette sets, and of course bedroom furniture with mattresses are at Coletta's Furniture, and they offer delivery. No credit needed options and 1-year finance options. Coletta's Furniture, 598 Wood Avenue, Woonsocket.
Save the date for the 3rd annual ON Radio Senior Fair, Saturday, April 19th from 9 a.m. to noon at the Elks Hall, 380 Social Street in Woonsocket. Meet and ask questions of some of the Blackstone Valley's best supporters of senior citizens, including attorneys, healthcare, financial services, and senior living. As usual, ON's Manny and Virginia and Gary Smith and the Do You Remember crew will be there to see you too. It's the 3rd annual ON Radio Senior Fair, Saturday morning, April 19th from 9 a.m. to noon at the Elks Hall in Woonsocket.
All right, it's Coffee and thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Smith and Tim Draper and John Ward. And Tim, time for your first message, please, from Navigant Credit
Thanks,
Union.
Joe. Beautiful day outside today, folks. Spring is here, and if you have thoughts of doing any home improvements or home maintenance projects that you've kind of been putting off throughout the winter and you need a little extra cash, please head over to the Navigant Credit Union website and take a look at our lending center and see all the great home equity products that we do have that would help you get the money you need to do the projects that you want to do. So if you go to navigantcu.org, you can apply online for either a home equity loan or home equity line of credit, a little more flexible, allows you to make some payments over time, whereas the home equity loan is a fixed rate for a fixed period of time. Either way, we have a product that will best suit your needs. So navigantcu.org on the website, go to the lending center, or give us a call, 233-4700.
All right, when Tim came in this morning, he said, Happy Liberation Day. It's, according to Donald Trump, it's Liberation Day.
That's right. That's what he says.
Because he's putting in all the tariffs, and now everything's going to equal
Everything's going to cost more.
Great. Good to hear.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see now. And did you see that box truck up in Boston? That tipped over.
No.
In Chinatown, injured 6 people along with the driver.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It was on the sidewalk and tipped on its
I
side.
wonder how the telephone pole got stuck between the cab and the box of the truck. I mean, it slid between the two.
I personally want to know why it's still called Chinatown. There's
That's how they reported
There's not that much
it.
China left in Chinatown, is there?
I don't know. Didn't look like Chinatown from the pictures.
That's what I mean. They
from what I remember.
redeveloped Chinatown back in the 90s.
But when I'm looking at the pictures now, the box truck, they never said on TV what it was, but you can tell by the pictures. It's a Penske truck.
Yeah.
A lot of people rent Penske trucks,
rental.
so that's what I thought. It's a rental, and someone didn't know how to drive it.
Somebody probably
and hit the brake instead
bringing
of the
supplies
shift
from one of those stores.
Something happened.
something around like that. So, but then the news reporters didn't bring that part up. I'm like, it's obviously a rental.
Yeah.
and they're just
Well,
having trouble.
sometimes
Not all-
professional
maybe not,
truckers
but-
have to use a rental.
Yeah, well,
because they.
but-
I mean, it could be
their
they were-
trucks are
was it a
broken.
short? Was
But
it a
this-
shorter truck
Yeah,
or a long?
Yes, it was a short
Because
one, like
sometimes,
12
especially
feet.
if they're going into a tight city like that, they may have to move stuff into a smaller truck. They just to
right.
get around.
No conspiracy, Joe.
It's not a conspiracy. It's just. I bet it's a rental. Somebody
does
did
know how to
not
drive
quite
it.
sure how to work the controls in this baby. All right, up in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, a man's accused of
Must be
embezzling.
Michelle Wu's fault.
Embezzling $328,000 from his mother. Son of the year. Prosecutors say.
What a good boy.
51-year-old. So his mom's got to be
Senior
75,
financial
80?
exploitation.
51-year-old Eric Borghetti stole the money from his mother in 2019 because she removed him from a trust. I'm taking away your money. It's like, well, I'll show you, kind of thing.
So how did he get the money?
Well, he's accused of changing control of the funds to himself.
How?
The victim reported the alleged thefts to police when she realized what had happened. He's charged with 5 counts of embezzlement by a fiduciary. So how did he do it? I don't know.
So was he the power of attorney and had
For
the
her?
ability to do that?
Possibly.
Which is possible.
Mhm.
There's a number of ways. I'm on my mother's accounts
Oh, tell us a
because
few.
Well,
I will. I mean, and they're pretty simple. Just chat GPT it. I'm on my mother's accounts. There's a level of trust that's there.
Right.
But I would like to think, and I know that the financial institution that I work for,
ask questions?
if there's a weird pattern happening, they're going to ask questions. If I'm I'm taking out money out of my mother's account all the time, that's
once a
going to go
week?
on somebody's radar screen, and I'm not going to know that it's on their radar screen, but
Yeah.
it's going to be on their radar screen.
Tim's
And-
taking out $5,000-$10,000 every
Yeah,
week.
that's
every week.
Yeah, but people come in and they try to pull that all the time.
sure,
Oh,
sure,
my mother
sure.
needs this,
Well, I need it
or
for this.
I need the money for that, and so most, the first couple of times it's like, okay, you just kind of think that's
I'm going
normal
on.
course
I'm
of
going on a
business.
trip. Okay.
Right, but when that starts happening, $300,000 is a lot of money.
$358, $328.
So my question is, was it not a bank or a credit union that the money was in? Was it like cash stocks that he was cashing out, or that's a little more difficult to
Just remove from a trust.
right. So
there are lots
You know.
of stories I could share, which we're not going to share. But I will also add just a snippet. I mean, the question also would be: was she of sound mind? There's a lot of
Well, she turned him over to the police, so I would say yes.
right. I'm
But-
not choosing sides. I want everyone to
Okay.
hear this on the radio. I'm just presenting the argument or the possibility that I'm not justifying him having $300,000
Right.
either. Right,
Yep.
that's not accounted for, perhaps. But if she has a dementia diagnosis or there was something in place, technically, even with the dementia diagnosis, she could go to a bank and she could say to them, "I no longer permit him to have access to my funds or my accounts." Regardless of her diagnoses. And that is a real area of concern for a lot of people in senior services because
But it looks like she did
happen
this
to have,
6 years ago.
yep.
She did it in 2019. So
And
he
he
was
wasn't
in his
happy about
mid 40s then,
and he found
and
a
now
way.
I'm not happy to get around it to get
Right.
to get to the money.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
But if he took
okay.
if he took her off the trust, I would have assumed that she would have taken him off all of any bank accounts he may have shared with her as a joint owner, and that would have eliminated him to just be able to walk into a bank and get money. So my question is, how did he get the money? Did she have cash in her house?
Probably.
That's the other thing that
Yeah.
concerns me.
Yeah.
People who put hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in their mattresses because they don't trust anybody.
Yeah, right.
All
right.
yeah.
And another crazy story because people always think, oh, I can get around the system and I won't be caught, kind of thing. This is a Worcester Medical Transport Company and its owner have been indicted federal fraud charges. Instant Transportation and its owner, Ardit Islamaj of Worcester, submitted millions of dollars in false claims to Mass Health and its subcontractors for services that were not provided. Some of the bills were for rides with no corresponding medical visits, and others for people who were hospitalized or dead at the time. Wow. The company allegedly collected over $3 million through fraud between 2018 and 2023. You must deal with a lot of
100%. Another area similar to that
ambulances
is
coming to these
medical
places.
equipment.
yeah,
There's a
lot of
There's a
fraud.
whole underground fraud system with medical equipment as well. There was a movie that touched upon that, or a show that I saw, and I'm trying to think of what it was. And my husband asked me the same question. He's like, "Does this really happen?" I'm like, "Yes."
Wow.
I'm going to write this that you need a walker or you need a wheelchair, but then the person.
And then you submit it to the insurance company.
Yeah.
You get money, but Tim's never got the walker. Wow.
There are avenues.
I bet.
Yeah.
There's always someone or some way to try to gain
We
the
just
system.
inspired someone in this conversation.
No,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
Those are
but
the things that you wish the Doges of the world would actually be looking at.
Thank
figuring
you.
out
I
figuring out
agree.
ways to try to prevent that. Like,
Real-
is there an
real-life
automated
scenarios.
is there an automated system for you to call somebody and say, "Hey, did you get the thing that you said that you were going to get?"
A circle back.
Right.
That's why we should have inspector generals that Trump fired, and that's one of the problems I have with Trump. But speaking of Doge, and I did bring
what'd
the
you
article in
find out?
because there's something in the range of multiple billions of dollars, $4.3 billion. It was intended to be used by states for temporary unemployment insurance during the pandemic, and then of course the pandemic was declared done in 2023, or 2022, and they did an audit and they discovered that. The Office of Inspector General found that there were still states that were being allowed to use this money after it was shut down. And then the rest of the money was just unspent and sitting there waiting for somebody to use it for 3 years. And so the director ordered that the money be returned to the Treasury and recovery begin because the federal government just doesn't know what it's got.
Isn't?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You go. I know you wanted to say something.
So I'm trying to think of how I can organize my thoughts on this because when I heard about this,
Well, this one's labor. This isn't health. Health is a
Department of Health. I'm
completely
sorry, I was
different
going
game.
into the Department of Health because I
Yeah,
know that there
that's-
was just an announcement that $30 million in
31,
Rhode Island was going to have to be
They want it
recouped.
back. Yeah.
The challenge is and I'll just use ourselves as an example, times however many healthcare entities, and it's not just long-term hospitals, whatever, when the state and the federal government still have certain infection control mandates,
Right.
how can you afford them with the reimbursement that we're given? So that money was, in a sense, offsetting
no.
some of those expenses. So when you're stripping all that away or you're asking to recoup it, here we go again, we're crippled even further. So it's I get what you're saying. You need to go in and look at it and you need to find out how
Right.
much is being
But-
utilized,
but-
what's just sitting there.
And
But
to your point, and it's a correct point, is
thank you.
many of these programs were created during COVID
Right.
to address issues associated with nationwide health problems, not specific to COVID, but COVID triggered a reaction that caused this to happen.
And new mandates.
And they become part of what should be a permanent
Yep.
structural change
In case something
to
happens
the
in the
health
future.
delivery
Yeah.
systems across the country. And then they're saying, "Oh, that's a COVID program. Get rid of it."
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
don't realize that they're
That's
getting
exactly
rid of
it.
some
At that point, it needed to be
foundational
renamed into
services
just
that are necessary for
Yeah.
what every state needs to do, and they mandate that they do it.
Yep.
Much like federal mandates over education, they don't fund it sufficiently, and then what they do give you, if they take it away, then you're really jammed up.
Well, the argument is that it's the legislature that expended those monies, right?
It is.
They put the money into the economy, but the states who haven't spent it yet, since there was a time limit on how long you had to spend it, if you didn't spend it, the government wants it back.
For
is what
this
they're
one.
saying. For that one.
And for ESSER for education, and for American recovery plan money
Right.
that's expiring after a certain date. But again, the program expired December 31st, 2024, but you've still got time to spend it. So there's gaps in there. And then again, for other programs related to the health stuff,
Right.
especially,
Yep.
is when they set up structural changes to the delivery of medical care, and they're not recognizing that difference. This was for unemployment related to COVID.
Yep.
That's over.
Yeah.
That's done. Nobody's unemployed because of COVID.
Right.
But there are health issues with the delivery of care that require the changes to be supported, and the states don't have the money to support it.
All right, break time once again here on Coffee In. So, Tim, time for a second message from Navigant Credit Union, please.
Again, just want to coattail on Melissa here on the 401 Gives. And this is the last day of the period of giving in the state where they're asking for folks to find a nonprofit that they are passionate about and make a contribution, a financial contribution. And I will tell you that It is. It's tough out there right now. We just closed our last round of grant applications, and I had 121 grants applications, up 40 from the previous time I did it. The dollar amounts are incredible. The need is incredible. So if you have the means to help, 401 Gives us a great platform to do it. You just simply go in and look up St. Antoine Communities, look up the Navigant Credit and Charitable Foundation, whatever you want to do, and you can make a credit card or debit card payment right there online. Very simple. And you can even cover the small fee that's associated with running the program if you'd like. But anything you can give to any of the nonprofits in Rhode Island right now would be helpful on their behalf. So 401 Gives, Navigant Credit Union is supporting 401 Gives, and we hope you will too.
Thanks, Tim. And the Coffee and program will continue. Please stay tuned.
The North Smithfield Emergency Management Agency is sponsoring a 9-week community emergency response team training class for Northern Rhode Island residents. The CERT class includes training on the psychology of disaster trauma, light search and rescue, emergency preparedness, fire safety, and basic first aid. The class is offered free of charge and will be held on Tuesday nights from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Classes will start on April 8th and run through June 3rd at the Emergency Management Agency at 83 Green Street in North Smithfield. For further information, contact the EMA office at 767-2206 or contact Deputy Director Jay Levinson at 401-230-9327. Information is also available on our website, www.nsema.org.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Join the Alzheimer's Association Rhode Island chapter for our free Caregivers Journey and Research Conference, Thursday, April 17th at the Crown Plaza in Warwick. Numerous breakout sessions, opportunities to connect with statewide resources, and professional respite care will be provided. Registration is required. Register today online at alz.org/RI. That's alz.org/RI.
It's Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with John Ward and Melissa Smith and Tim Draper. And we had a note called in, and now for something completely different.
Oh, boy.
All right. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. The Boston Bruins are in last place in the entire Eastern Division. They've lost 9 in a row. What a pity. They actually looked good last night, but still came up on the short end of the stick.
Welcome to being a Red Sox fan.
And did anybody watch the Bruins game last night?
No.
All right. Alex Ovechkin is about to is trying to pass Wayne Gretzky's for the all-time scoring leader. And he is now 4 goals away with about 8 games to go.
You should just play the Bruins one more time.
He scored last night against the Bruins. You should have heard the cheering
in the
going on at the Garden
good.
for him. First of all, there were a ton of Capital fans, so there's people following him to see him do this. And, of course, the Bruins fans will know what's going on. Right. And so the cheers that went up when he scored, and then when they announced he had the goal, more cheering for Alex O. So
how many goals does Gretzky have?
Oh, it's 895.
Oh, okay.
And he's like at 891 right now. I think it's in that area.
Okay.
So it's like, wow, that's
I'll
amazing.
say this about sports. I noticed. I looked at the standings for baseball at the end of the first weekend,
last
and I
place.
thought, this looks an awful lot like the end of last season.
That's
It's only April's nothing. No, we're not pushing the panic button
I know
yet.
it's only 3 or 4 games, but
I
it's like,
know.
okay, LA's undefeated, New York's undefeated.
New York lost last night.
All right,
Arizona beat them 7-5.
Now, Joe, are you feeling a little melancholy about the whole McCoy Stadium coming down?
I went there this past weekend.
Did you?
My wife and I took a drive down and saw the outfield fences have all come down. The scoreboards and everything are down. And if you look at the actual stadium, a lot of the seats are gone that were all auctioned off. I'm like, wow, this is
it's just sad.
This is just so sad. And my wife's looking at it. She goes, but it still looks like it's structurally sound. I said the problem is what you can't see.
Yeah.
It is really falling down. Basically from the inside out. So
Right.
it looks great from the outside, but it really has to go. But it is sad.
Right, and then you drive by the Apex building, and there's no more pyramid on
the
top
pyramid's
of that.
not there
But on
anymore.
the bright side, if you look on the other side of 95,
You can see
the
the
new
soccer?
stadium looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
And they haven't
Tidewater looks good.
haven't won a game yet.
No, I know.
Just
Playing on
don't
those
Wait to get home.
Don't look on the other side of 95 while you're
driving?
on 95.
95, that's right. That's right.
That's an issue. Okay.
Unless
So
you're driving a Tesla.
Donald Trump is preparing to host a meeting about TikTok. We got that deadline's coming up again for the ban. It draws near. TikTok's Chinese-owned parent company, ByteDance, has until Friday to sell the app to a non-Chinese buyer or be banned in the United States. Haven't we seen this movie?
A couple times.
Okay. Trump has previously said he could extend the deadline for that ban if he wanted to. He'll meet with Vice President Vance and other advisors Wednesday to discuss a possible offer for the app.
He's trying to get the guys from Oracle to buy it, right?
I don't know who he's trying to get to buy.
Trying to get the guy from Oracle to buy it.
Doesn't Elon have a lot of money? He
Not
could he could buy it, right?
He's losing a lot lately.
Yeah?
In his stocks value at Tesla.
Well, they keep setting his cars on fire.
Well, no, he keeps doing stupid things, and people just don't want to buy his product now.
I want to see all of those people who have been caught on cameras that are going to be prosecuted try to defend themselves under the First Amendment.
Oh, destroying the cars?
Destroying the cars.
You know, I have a right to do this.
You know what's interesting is that people don't realize Teslas have cameras all around.
I know.
Them. That's how they drive. So right. So Randy, my buddy Randy, who you guys all know, he has a Tesla, and I drove with him to Providence. They're like, "Hey man, I'm a little concerned about driving in your car right now. I just want you to know that." But he showed me on his screen. He presses a button, and it will take a little away a little of the battery. But he can hit the cameras, and they will record everything that goes on around his car.
Wow.
Video record.
Right. So you
So
see
these
videos
people
of all
doing
these
this,
people
the
keying
keying
the
and
cars.
stuff, they're gonna right on camera.
Every one of them is going to be prosecuted.
Right.
Well, okay then.
I don't know about the ones that are burning the cars.
I know.
This comes out every spring about the seniors in high school. I don't know where your senior stands right now, but there's a student in Fresno, California. There's a story going viral. This person, he was accepted to 15 universities, including the Ivy League schools of Columbia, UPenn, Yale, and Harvard. Central East High School senior Samuel Ruiz Macias plans to study political science and attend law school. As a first-generation student of immigrant parents, he now faces a big decision of which school to go to next. Which school's not being investigated by Trump? So pick that one. Go to Yale.
What's his name?
Was it is it Samuel Ruiz Macias? Macias.
Can we just talk about there was a story yesterday on the news that Tufts and must have been Boston College, I'm thinking, because there's two schools in Boston, $100,000
Yeah,
combined.
Tripped over the $100,000 mark.
Oh, for
Tuition, room and board, and then fees, because no one really talks enough about the student fees that are like mandated now, which is redonkulous.
Yeah.
So that's more than Harvard then. I thought always
is.
Harvard was at the top.
Nope. So now it's so
They
then
went
they're
to
talking
100,000?
about the fact that it's going to really deter a lot of like potential medical students from wanting to come to the New England area, which we already have a tremendous shortage of physicians as it is. But it's just really going to cause people to pause, even coming to the United States at all. Like a lot of foreigners usually come to the United States for medical school, and
Yeah, they're not coming.
they're not
anymore.
coming anymore. And it's gonna, healthcare is gonna be such a mess. It already is a mess. It's gonna be even worse. I wish someone would pay attention.
Well, they might come from Israel. No, they want to come from Israel.
Oh my gosh, John.
I had a call for a doctor appointment in February. And they said, okay, we'll see you in September.
Yeah.
okay.
You got to make them.
Luckily,
there, you gotta
it's
make
not
next year's
it's not an emergency. So
Yeah.
I was like, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
September's fine. So I was some. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but
You got to become a physician's assistant.
but then my GP called me yesterday and said, "Well, you gotta get in this to see her." I said, "I have an appointment in September, different appointment." They said, "Well, yeah, but your medication is running out, and she wants to see you before then." Okay, well, when? She goes, May 1st, 2 weeks. Oh, okay.
Why don't we just do the other thing
Why
too?
is that okay? But the other one said, "Oh, well, we'll see you in 6 months."
Well, what you should do
I don't
then,
know.
what you should do then is sign yourself up for auto refill.
I
And
have.
that way, within 2 years, you'll have about a 6-month
Supply.
supply of every medication you have.
I have.
Because every 30-day prescription is refilled after about 25,
As a
and
90.
every 90-day is filled after about 65.
You know the sign that John's retired
Yeah,
when
he's
he
doing
does
that.
a sound bite like that. Put some thought into it, some planning.
I wasn't retired when I started noticing that.
I'll tell you, I switched to an HSA program at work where we pay for
pay in,
everything, right?
yeah.
We put money into an account and we just pay out of that account. It has been eye-opening in terms of the cost of stuff. And when the doctors say, well, you got to follow up in 6 months, and I go, oh, okay, I'll come follow up. Now you have a follow-up in 6 months. I'm like, I don't need a follow-up in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it. I'll see you in my annual unless I
Yeah.
feel bad, and then I'll call you. Right. And now I'm awfully conscious about what I'm going to do and not do, just to make sure that I'm not, because even the routine stuff is.
Going out of a municipal health plan into Medicare Advantage plan, you start measuring dollars.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm not saying it's great.
What I will say in defense of my senior folks, one of the biggest eye-opening things that we notice is a lot, obviously, retired folks moved south. They go to Florida for a few years, and then they realize, oh, I'm getting older, and I want to be a part of my grandchildren's lives. I'm going to move back. They can't get physicians.
Yeah,
So we have a lot
that's
of
an
residents
issue.
that want to move in, but you can't move in unless we have
A doctor's note.
a doctor's note essentially, but like the right paperwork filled
Yeah.
out by an active physician. Some of
And
them
they don't
haven't
have
been
one.
seen in 2 or 3 years, and you're like, I can't
And you
let
can't
you
have the
in.
one in Florida that they go
Right.
to.
So the only way in at that point is get yourself hospitalized,
Oh,
which
man.
is
Go step in front of a
it's
bus.
such a backwards
Backwards,
way,
yeah, of doing
a way of looking at healthcare. It really is.
I did have a similar situation where I forget exactly what it was. Oh, I know. I was actually changing my Medicare Advantage plan because it's changed and a different option became a better option for me, but not significantly. And of course, going to do that, you're filling out paperwork and doing all the stuff you need to do. And the question is, who's your primary care physician? I don't know. He retired. Well, who do you see? Well, I see a nurse practitioner.
Yep.
Is that good enough?
Okay. Who's the supervisor? No.
Right.
Oh,
No, it's
okay.
not good enough.
Who's the supervising physician?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He was working for this doctor that drew me into the plan.
Practice, Yep.
So, yeah, I can't tell you. You'll have to figure it out. So I gave him the name of the company, and they were going to go figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw this video yesterday, and it's not going to make doctors happy, but this man just said, I'm done going to doctors, like for a general practitioner, because they don't know anything.
They don't.
If I'm hurt, I'll go see a doctor. If I need surgery, I'll go see a doctor. But these GPs, all they want to do is put you on drugs. They're not taught how to heal. They're taught how to dispense medication.
Well, they're trained by the pharmaceutical.
Well, that's right. So that's what they just want to put you on stuff. He goes, I'm done with that. So it's like, I bet a lot of people feel this way. And I'll go see someone when something hurts. Then again, it might be too late when that happens, but I guess that's the chance you're taking.
Kennedy's going to fix all that.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
He's got all the
because,
answers.
because pretty soon when you go to the grocery store, 50% of the stuff you want to buy, you won't be able to.
Too expensive?
No, it's
Non-organic?
Although, I have to say this. My son pointed this out. I was at his house, and I picked up the box of kids' cereal because I wanted to see. I was checking the ingredients, and it was
Sugar?
it was the Aldi's brand, store brand version of Kellogg's.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I thought, these are dull colored.
Yeah.
They're not brightly colored.
Like Fruit Loops, yeah.
And so I looked at the ingredient box, and there's not a lot of artificial stuff in
Artificials,
it.
yeah.
And the coloring is from natural fruit coloring.
Oh, okay.
And I said, I've never seen this. What's this all about? And he said, well, it's Aldi's. All of their cereal is from, they're an overseas company. It's from Canada.
Oh.
And they're not allowed to use artificial
dyes,
coloring, the
like
dyes
that we do use,
in this
okay.
country. So he buys their cereals specifically so that the kids aren't taking in the dyes and stuff. But if Kennedy gives about banning all of that stuff, you're going to see all the coloring in our cereals are going to go dull.
Down, okay.
And a lot of the preservatives are going to go away. And you'll actually have to worry about, like I remember when I was a kid, where if you don't touch that Cheerios box for about 4 weeks, it doesn't look so
stale.
good.
Yeah.
Because the preservatives aren't there that now allow it to stay fresh for about 9 months.
Yeah, right.
And so, and I can't wait to see him successfully find a way, like when I was working at LMAX many, many, many years ago, where food stamps or SNAP benefits, you cannot buy soda.
I know he wants that. Yeah.
And it makes sense.
Will it pass, though?
It's one of the worst foods you can have is
I
soda.
know. Yeah.
Of any kind.
So I agree that just
yeah.
the better
But
stuff.
when I
Fruits,
worked at the
veggies,
LMAX
meat.
in Massachusetts at the time, they prohibited the use of food stamps for soda.
Okay.
And soda was considered not a food item; it was a taxable item. In Rhode Island, of course, it's Rhode Island, so they don't care about stuff like that. And it was considered a food item, and you could use food stamps to buy soda in Rhode Island.
All right, we've come to the end of the program. Once again, we could keep going, but we can't. You guys got to get to work. Not you, John.
Bummer.
Well, we thank you for listening in.
What do you mean? I have to go to work.
Always appreciated. So, Melissa Smith, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and Tim Draper, thanks for being here.
Adios, Joe. Thanks, everybody.
All right, and John Wharton, thanks
It's
for
your
coming in.
pleasure on this hump day, and it's beautiful out there, a little chilly, so go out and enjoy the God-given day.
All right, this is Joe Callan. Reminder, Do You Remember will not be on today. Gary cannot make it in today. Looks like the earliest Gary will be in will be Friday here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio.